Well, hey there. So, I'm pretty sure I am going down in history as the worst dad in all history. So, yesterday after church, we, well, I'll just tell you, I lied to Isaiah and Isaac. So, yes, I just said I went to church and I lied back to back. Obviously, I did not pay attention during Easter. Don't tell Tony, the pastor. Um, Hopefully, he doesn't see this. However, so what happened is we were Easter egg hunting, and Isaiah and Isaac, who, just so you guys know, is 9 years old and almost 7 years old, and they were finding all the eggs. And Ethan, who is 3 years old, was not getting any of the eggs. And so I said, Isaac, Isaiah, come over here. Look at this tree. There's tons of eggs over here. And they were like, Dad, I don't see any eggs. I said, walk around the tree like 3 times. And they did. Dad, we still don't see any eggs. So then I said, well, silly, look up, look at the branches, which were about 10, 12 feet high. So there's no way I could have hit an egg up there. So there's no eggs. In that time, though, Ethan was able to fill up his basket and get some eggs. And Isaac was so mad at me. Um, but of course, you know, you give some, you lose some. So I had to help Ethan get some Easter eggs. And so comment below if you, as a parent, have ever had to do that with any of your kids, where you had to sneak a little bit to help the other child out. Kind of share that story because I'm curious on how you navigated that with multiple kids. But speaking of church, so Tony did give a really cool analogy at the end of his sermon, and I want to share it with you guys. So he was talking about a power strip, where you can plug multiple things into one outlet. And so, you got the power strip and you plug in your TV to it, you plug your computer to it, you plug, your phone charger to it, you plug in your pager charger to it, you plug in your VHS charger to it. Okay, I've just really dated myself on that. But, and he was like, here's the really silly thing that, of course, you would never do, but the silly thing is you take the cord for the power strip and you got one more outlet remaining, and so you plug it into itself. Well, okay, yeah, of course that's not going to do anything. You got to plug in the power strip to the power source, which, of course, in this analogy would be your outlet of your house, where you pay your electricity bill and you have electricity, right? Well, who's our power source? And I think you guys know where I'm going with this. That's God. That's, Jesus died on the cross for our sins so we can be reconciled with him and saved. And so the question then becomes, are you tapping into that power? Do you know the power, that created us? And I don't mean to make this all preach or anything, but, we are wonderfully loved. And so just simply knowing that you're loved changes the dynamic of your life and how you carry yourself, and maybe even the healthy habits that you want to pursue, right? Because if you know that you're loved, then you treat your body in a different manner, in a different way. So I hope this is helpful for you guys, these little chats. I would like to do more of them, and so I started a Facebook page where it's called Dr. Chris Mosier, and so I want to pour more of those items, those topics like this onto that social media page for you. And I want to kind of keep more of the Mosier Family Chiropractic page more designed for testimonials and chiropractic adjustments, more on the specific, but the weight loss, the motivational, I want to stick to the Dr. Chris Mosier. So make sure you like and subscribe to that. Speaking of the power strip, the power, of chiropractic is realigning the spine, right? However, as we include more doctors into the practice, because of course, with the larger facility that I hope to invite you guys to the grand opening, I hope you guys come. It's going to be June 6th. But as we add more doctors, more plugins, um, I want to, have them to have their own social media page and pouring into others. That way, they can have a level of influence and pour into people that they see fit and tell their story, because we all have a story worth sharing. And so I hope this was empowering. I hope it was inspiring. And also, I hope it gave you some hope. So, love you guys, and I'll see you next time.